What's good, Ravens fans? Today I'm going to do a breakdown of the game, talk about some of the good, some of the bad, make it quick for you guys, and I want you guys to leave your thoughts in the comments. But first, let's hear what ESPN has to say about it.
Calais Campbell is in his third year as a Baltimore Raven, and Sunday was the first time he beat the Steelers. Roquan Smith is in his sixth week as a Raven, and he was excited to be a part of it too, because all week those guys heard from their teammates, you aren't a Raven until you beat the Steelers. The Baltimore coaches played highlights of past Ravens-Steelers games. They played inspirational speeches from former Ravens like Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis. They played Renegade during practices so the guys could get used to what it was going to feel like in the fourth quarter when they played it here at Acrisure Stadium. The Ravens were fired up for this game. Now, they lost their starting quarterback part of the way through it for the second week in a row. Tyler Huntley, filling in for Lamar Jackson, suffered a concussion and had to leave the game, and Anthony Brown finished. No matter. J.K. Dobbins, fresh off injured reserve, ran for over 100 yards. The Ravens won again and held on to first place in the AFC North with 4 weeks to go.
So let's get into it, guys. First thing I want to talk about, of course, when it comes to what's happening is the guy on the screen in back of me, J.K. Dobbins. We are one piece away, ladies and gentlemen, from the whole picture coming together. And this is going to be a big deal for us Ravens fans. When the whole picture comes together, I hope it's going to be magnificent. J.K. Dobbins, even Gus Edwards, the running game was awesome. And it kind of shows what the missing piece of the Ravens have been these last 2 years on offense. We built a team to have a run game. Do you have a run game that can dominate even when Lamar Jackson is not having a dominating game? That is what the question is. We have been really good at running the ball based on Lamar Jackson, right? Now we have J.K. Dobbins back, who looked excellent coming from injury. I've never seen a running back come from injury like he did in the middle of the season, after playing in the season, in the beginning of the season, right? I've seen running backs come back, for example, after a season-long injury the next year and look great. He played this season, didn't look too great. He had some good games, but didn't look great. Came back this game, in a game that both teams needed, and looked awesome. So shout out to J.K. Dobbins. You definitely get a game ball, my brother. It was just a beautiful performance. Gus Edwards also performed well. I was disappointed that Kenyon Drake didn't get some more rush attempts. I think he's good, but again, there's only one ball to go around, right? And 3 running backs is just a lot to balance. So that is the first part. The second part, I have to give credit where credit is due. And the fact is that our linebackers played a great game. Roquan Smith is easily worth the money the way that he's playing. He makes Patrick Queen better. Patrick Queen is playing lights out. Defense as a whole played great. And I just thought that you have to give them kudos, because this is the second week in a row that they stepped up when we really needed them to step up. So shout out to them. Now let's get to some of the bad things. Again, I was going to give you 2 for each. So the 2 positives, J.K. Dobbins, and then the defense overall. One of the bad things is on the defense, though. Sometimes you have a great player who has a pretty good game, but he loses. Marlon Humphrey lost, guys, and this is just the bad. I'm giving you my perspective on the game. Marlon Humphrey lost, even though he was tight coverage every single time. But the receivers that the Steelers have, they can ball. The Steelers are really good at drafting receivers. I don't know what they look for in these receivers. I don't know if it's the coaching, but Pickens was killing Humphrey all day long. All day long. Usually it's Marcus Peters, so I can't talk about Marcus Peters this week. All day long, Humphrey was getting roasted, ladies and gentlemen. It was pretty bad. He was there, but not only do you have to win the route, which he was doing, but you have to win the catch, and he was not doing that. So that's bad, in my opinion, on Marlon Humphrey. I will give this one as another thing that I thought was not great, but it wasn't too bad, to be honest. We just know that the quarterback position for the Ravens is a more physical position than other positions. And Tyler Huntley, while he is good as a quarterback that can come in and win a game, he can't run exactly the same system as Lamar does because he's not as good as getting away from hits as Lamar is, right? Again, we always talk about Lamar's going to get hurt running. Lamar's going to get hurt running. Lamar doesn't get hurt running. Lamar gets hurt when he trusts his lineman. Now, I'm not saying don't trust them because that's how you win football games. But we saw that Tyler Huntley took several big hits running outside the pocket. Several big hits scrambling for yards. And it just wasn't good enough from him, I think. Now, again, I don't want to put insult to injury. He did get hurt, he did get put out. But it shows the talent that Lamar has, I think. It shines even brighter when you see that if Greg Roman thinks he's going to call 5 option QB runs, it's not going to happen because only Lamar has the ability to make people miss and take lesser hits. We've seen these other quarterbacks don't have that ability. So Greg Roman needs to get in the lab and kind of change that up. So this is a bad point for both Greg Roman and both for Tyler Huntley, just because you got to change it up because he can't run the same system because he takes hits way more often. It was kind of insane, some of the hits he was taking. I know it's a Steelers game, but it was kind of insane. It was wild. So those are my 2 goods and my 2 bads. Now, guys, I just want to talk about overall, right? We're just going to get into some detail here. Listen, we're family. We having fun. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but let's just chat about some other things I saw in the game. Again, I do want to just talk about the growth that we've seen in Patrick Queen. And I might make a video on this about how great he was. The boy is just at a different level. And even though I do think these last couple of games Roquan Smith has been playing better, ladies and gentlemen, it's A plus and A. When Roquan's having an A game or an A minus game, Patrick Queen's having an A plus game. When Patrick Queen's having an A minus A game, Roquan Smith's having an A plus game. And it was just amazing to see that. Marcus Williams came back from injury. Let's talk about him. Again, that's what he does, right? He gets those interceptions over the top. Beautiful. This team with Lamar is the missing piece. This is the pressure on Greg Roman right now. Greg Roman, I need you to step up because this is it. This is your chance to be great. When Lamar Jackson gets back, our defense is going to give you opportunities. We might let up points, right? But we're going to get turnovers. We've been doing it all year. And now with the way this defense is playing, you're going to get chances to score touchdowns. It's time to score them. So I'm excited to see that. Again, last thing I'm going to say before I let you guys go, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, this is why, guys, we cannot let him go. I know a lot of fans want something new just to have something new. John Harbaugh can coach his ass off. Guys, when you win these tight games, that does mean something. And what it usually means is that the coach is making all the right small decisions that lead into the big decisions, right? Again, it's not a coincidence that we have one of the top special teams every year. Of course, we have Justin Tucker, but again, our punting game is always above average. Our return game is always above average. We happen to have the best return in the league, but again, that's a lot of coaching as well. So when you win special teams every week, that's 1/3 of the pie already covered, right? So Justin Tucker is going to make his field goals. The punters are going to make sure field position flips. And again, we're not going to make any mistakes on special teams. So you kind of have that one. That's John Harbaugh, guys. Defensively, right? Getting the right game plan. Now again, letting up big plays, right? That's an issue. We have to fix that because we did let up a lot of big plays to a Steelers team that was down their quarterback. But John Harbaugh did choose to go with the young man, Mike McDonald, over the blitz-heavy scheme of Martindale, right? That means something, and it's paying dividends, right? Because what it's doing is allowing us to get more turnovers while also not giving up giant touchdowns, right? The problem that we've had in the past is that if we blew a coverage because everyone was blitzing, right, that's a touchdown. Now, if we blow a coverage, there's always someone there to make a tackle. Again, I think that's John Harbaugh, guys. Offense, I still, still some issues there, but I do think John Harbaugh gives us a chance to always win the coaching battle, which is important. So that's what I thought about this game, guys. Again, just to do a quick recap, some pluses. You got to give your defense overall a plus, specifically Patrick Queen and the linebacking core. Just beautiful. Roquan Smith, beautiful. You also have to give J.K. Dobbins and the running backs a plus. J.K. played amazing. That's why I'm honoring him with his background. Then when it comes to the bad, Marlon Humphrey, he has to play better. He was losing those possessions at the point of attack. And then overall, just the play calling and getting used to calling plays without Lamar Jackson. You can't call those same plays because our new quarterbacks are going to get lit up. And that's just what it was. So you guys let me know in the comments below what you thought about the game. Thanks, and go Ravens.